Here we are, goal line football, the 2025 championship season. It's a 13-week event. We have 13 games planned out. We're going to talk about the first four today. We got a couple of goal line football players, a couple of world champions, two-time world champions. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
How's it going, guys? My name is Brock Miller, quarterback of the Muddawgs, number 5, and owner and COO as well.
What's going on? Number 7, Caleb Mitchell, wide receiver and linebacker for the Muddawgs.
Well, here we are with a couple of world champions, 5-man world champions. The last time you guys played the 29ers, and they did snap the 23-month and 27-day win streak. 20-0 before the 29ers snapped that streak. You guys want to talk a little bit about that game before we move on?
Yeah, yes, it's one of those that does hurt. You know, the streak's kind of broken and stuff, and no one ever enjoys or accepts losing as like an okay outcome. But for us and stuff, it kind of takes that weight off of our shoulders of, can we keep the streak going? Can we keep the streak alive? How far can we take this streak? Now we can just kind of focus on our game. We can focus on our playoff run for our 3rd championship, because at the end of the day, it's the rings is what matters to us and our team. And now we can kind of let loose a little bit, take a little bit more gambles here and there, open up the pockets a little more, because we don't have to play as safe to try to prevent ourselves from losing. Now we can just focus on winning.
All right. Anything you want to add to that, Caleb?
I just genuinely think from the first game, the second game is the game we lost, but from the first game itself, it just generally goes to show that no matter who these teams want to add as a late time roster thing, doesn't change the fact of what the outcome will be. I believe that if me myself, if I wouldn't have got hurt that second game and wasn't able to play, it would have changed the game a lot. We had a lot of mistakes with some of our newer guys, but that's something that we were able to build off of in practice. We were able to be okay, so in this scenario, this person can't do this, So those mistakes were of that one-time thing and aren't going to be shown in tournaments up to come in these next couple of weeks. So that's probably what would be the hardest thing about these teams, going to watch film on us. It's they're going to look back at that second game that we lost and we could capitalize on this, but that's not what you're going to be able to capitalize on because it's already fixed.
Okay. I mean, you mentioned the injury. The rumor is that you're going to sit out the first couple of games. Are we going to see you in September?
The plan is to be there in September. But, plans change. I am on a dislocated shoulder, so, you can't play football without both shoulders. With time and healing, we'll see what goes on by then.
Okay. That's really the only chance these teams have is if you sit out. And that's just coming from my perspective, of course. Moving on to the championship season. It's going to be a 3-month event, 13 games. We're going to talk about the first 4 games. You guys were the only ones that joined the media scrum today. Everyone else is out there thinking about what they're going to do. We're going to ask you what we're going to see from you, what we're going to see from your opponent, or what you expect from your opponent. And we'll just go down the list of games. The first game is the biggest game probably of the year. It's the Muddawgs versus the Vibes. What are you guys going to expect from the Vibes, and what can we expect to see from the Muddawgs?
From the Vibes, I expect to see a lot of what they've shown against the Bucks in their last game and stuff going out there. They have a great squad put together to make a good run for the playoffs. A lot of key athletes that stand out, quarterback being one of them and stuff. Great quarterback for the Vibes they got going there now. But they haven't played the mentality and the game kind of style as us Muddawgs do. We are a lot more physical, and you have to play more of a perfect game against us than probably any other team. And we'll see if they're able to stand up to that task and try to give us a good run for our money for that 3rd ring.
What would you like to add to that, Caleb?
Man, from when I started to now, the Vibes have become I can genuinely say one of the better teams in GLF. What they're rating at number two is what I believe that they should be at number two. I don't think any other team besides us are any competition with them. They have themselves a great quarterback. Their running back's really good. They have those veteran receivers they have on that team. Um, but the only difference between them playing the Bucks and them playing us is that the Bucks were just letting them run down their throat and weren't tackling. It's like the Muddawgs, us as a team, we rack up tackles like it's nothing. So they're gonna have to come out with a new game plan, try to get the ball in the air, but even that's gonna be hard. So I'm honestly really excited to see what they are able to throw at us as a team and what they're able to come up with.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I really think it's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to personnel, and it's probably going to come down to a defensive option. And on both sides of the ball, you have high percentages of success whenever the defensive option is used correctly. And so I just think that's what it's going to come down to late in the game. We'll move on to the second game of the championship season. The Hellhounds are riding a 3-0 record right now. They've won 3 games in a row, and they're going to be taking on the 29ers, who picked up a miraculous victory the last time they saw you guys. What do you guys think the Hellhounds are going to do? What do you expect to see from the 29ers?
Well, me personally, I think with the simple fact that the 29ers did have to take extra players from the Hellhounds just to beat us, that the 29ers aren't going to have much of a chance. That's just me. That might be me being biased or me being salty from the loss, and call it what you want. But they have about 3 good players on that team, and it's a 5-on-5 league. I don't know if 3 good players are going to be able to bring up enough good wins to be able to play against Chris or against D or Jabari. You know what I mean? It's not going to add up. So in my honest opinion, I have the Hellhounds taking that one.
Okay, yeah. The odds say the same. What about you, bro?
It depends on the group. I know Chris is a good owner of the Hellhounds. I know he's battling with some roster struggles. So it's really going to determine what group he gets out there and stuff. But, you always got D on the Hellhounds and stuff, and he's pretty much an athlete. You always need to be aware of where he's at on the field and what he's doing. Perfect example of that, we had to focus on him last minute with the 29ers. So we had to focus on him playing with the 29ers, how they're going to use him and stuff, which opened it up a little bit more for the other players to kind of step up a little bit. But you're not going to have that option without him on your team. Now you're going against him. Now he kind of knows the playbook and the style that you play because you let him on your team. So that's going to give the Hellhounds just a huge advantage. And I'm going to say, bold prediction, it'll be over in 7 with Hellhounds on top.
Hey, whenever it comes to bold predictions, the 29ers have a lot to prove. They are the underdogs. Do I think they can do it? I do. But at the same time, they're going to have to string together some victories. I don't think that they can win one, lose one, and then get to play for the rings in the end. But talking about the Muddawgs versus the Hellhounds is what's going to happen in the third game of the championship season. We were just talking about King Aruba and Chris and Jamari, and you guys match up real well with them. You guys have pretty much had your way with them. Are you expecting to do the same thing in week 3?
Playoffs bring a whole new mentality, mindset to both sides of the ball, both sides of the teams. And it just kind of depends who's coming out to play and who kind of gets in that mindset. Playoffs, it's a whole different game than regular season. You're turning up the intensity. You're being more aggressive than you were. You might be more risky and challenging with your throws and runs. There's a lot more at it than just a regular season game. Regular season, you might play a little bit prevent because you don't want to risk injury or anything like that, but you're laying it all out on the line on playoffs. And depending on what team that is and your mentality, it's going to kind of help determine the outcome. I believe it probably will be a closer game than we would like, because we go out there and we want to put goose eggs on the board and finish it in 5 or 6 tops. And like I said, we might have our work handed out for us a little bit, just depending on who he brings. But just like you said it yourself, Floyd, You named 3 good players for the Hellhounds, and those 3 good players stand out. But for us Muddawgs, this is why you don't see a lot of us in the top 10, because we have amazing depth. Like, we all eat, we all bring something to the team. It could be any given game where Caleb goes off, AJ goes off, Drew gets pick 6 after pick 6. Dave's always a wild card and can just take a game over at any moment. I might surprise you and throw you a few more touchdowns instead of handing the ball off. You never know. It can come from anywhere with us. So it makes it a lot more challenging for teams to go against us than, say, the Hellhounds, the Vibes, the 29ers, where they have a lot of key players that are great athletes, but they don't have the depth where you have to account for everybody like we have.
No, I agree. It's all about depth. Whenever you talk about the depth that Caleb brings on both sides of the ball, you were talking about offensive producers and defensive producers. Caleb's good for touchdowns on both sides of the ball in the exact same game. What do you expect to see from the Hellhounds past what you think you might see against the 29ers, because it's a different team? But and what can we expect from your teammates, seeing how you're not going to be there to produce on both sides of the ball?
Well, knowing if teams game plan, not saying I'm anyone in particular, but knowing if teams have game planned against me myself, then they made a big mistake, because like Buck said, we all know how to play football and we all ball. So making a game plan against one person is horrendous. So we've been putting a lot of preparation in these last couple of weeks. We got the perfect guy to step in and play the position, and we're more or less more ready than most teams would think in the short amount of time that we've had. I genuinely believe that the Hellhound, like I said, their best bet is giving the ball to D and letting him run, because just because I'm not there doesn't mean that the pass coverage is going to be any different. We're still going to get picks. We're still going to take them to the house, and we're still going to get tackles. So they might want to give that ball to their fastest guy and hope he makes something happen, because it always somehow seems that guy can make something happen. So that's just the moral of it. That it's not going to change the fact of me playing or not playing, because we got dogs, and that's just what it is.
And I've yet to see, besides Dante in the last championship game that we won, able to take it to the house and run a game through himself for the last 8 series straight. It's going to take more than just one guy to beat us, for sure.
No, I agree. It's going to take a full roster. And they're going to have some reserves to get the job done. In my opinion, of course. So the last game we're going to talk about today, the 4th game of the championship season, is the Vibes versus the 29ers. Again, we've talked about the level of talent the Vibes have right now. I think Mikey Provost is the type of guy that you have to go out and beat Mikey. Mikey, he wins games. So, and the 29ers have a trio with Troy, Zion, and Shaka that could really take over a game at any moment. So what do you guys expect to see in the 4th game of the season?
Honestly, Vibes are in a little bit disadvantaged going into it, because it is very hard, my opinion, to jump back in the mentality of playing football, get back in a game after sitting out and watching 2 games between your last one. And also, the mindset. It's going to be a big challenge for both teams. They're both going to be playing the Muddawgs. And if everything goes well, and according to plan, they're both going to take L's against the Muddawgs. So who can get their team together and bounce back, ready to play another game, is going to be the big challenge. They both have talent on the field and can have playmakers that can make plays, but it's going to come down to coaching and leadership. Who can get their team back in that mentality and that mindset? Hey, we got another game. We got to go out there and win. This game still matters. We have to try to get the best striker possible to go for those rings. And I feel like whatever leader, captain, owner can do that for his team will probably be the outcome of the winner of that game.
I agree with that. That's probably facts right there. What do you have to say about that, Caleb, in regards to the 4th game of the championship season?
Like I said earlier, the Vibes are the number 2 team for a reason, And I believe if they bring that exact same roster that they brought to play against the Bucks, that they won't have much of a problem playing against the 29ers at all. Something I noticed about the 29ers, and especially in that tournament they played against us, is that they weren't really using the guys on their team more or less more than they were using the guys from another team. So being able to go from one, like using a certain personnel one month to going to a different personnel another month, it's gonna be a lot of I feel like there's gonna be a lot more confusion, a lot more like trying to figure out who to get the ball to, because now they have to go back to that original team that hasn't been doing the greatest. So I think with the Vibes being able to run the ball and pass the ball, the 29ers are in for one. I have the Vibes winning that game also. Just generally off of chemistry and Soul as a person, he knows how to command a team, and he knows how to keep his team in check. He's very much like, oh, you don't like playing for me, then get out. You know what I mean? So I think that the Vibes are definitely going to take that maybe in 6 series.
Okay. No, yeah, no. I really see the Vibes having the upper hand in that game. And again, the 29ers have the biggest hill to climb in the next 13 weeks to get to play for those rings. We'll take the final moment here to let you guys just air it out. Let them know exactly how this is going to go down, and just whatever you want them to know.
Genuinely don't have much to say for any of the other teams, except that for these next 13 weeks, the Muddawg team that they saw during the regular season is going to be a totally different team. Um, I I I can't say it more that the fact that we lost Dante doesn't change the fact of anything. We're still out there winning games, splitting up touchdowns, and grabbing MVPs. No shade to Dante, that's one of my guys, but he shaped our team into being the team we are now, and it should go to show that these teams need to learn to focus on more than just one person, because one person and on our team doesn't change the game. It's everybody. We got 12 guys on this team, and all 12 guys can ball. So my genuine advice to the team before we go out on Sunday and play is focus on learning all of our strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, best of luck. I mean, I can't wait to watch everybody else out there, play some football, especially with the little break we get in between games. Get to watch some other teams play some football, and I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Best of luck to them, and we'll let Brock finish it off.
Last thing I want to say to everybody is, we are two-time champs for reasons. Yes, we've lost players throughout the year. Yes, we've gained players throughout the year. But our goal has always been the same. It's never been about the undefeated streak, winning every single game. That stuff, yes, it's nice to have on your resume. But our goal at the start of the year was get that third ring no matter what. And, we've had obstacles. We've had challenges. We've grown a lot more this year as a team than I felt we have the first 2 years combined. But our mentality, pretty much what our Muddawgs team stand for has grown so much more and has spread from just the 5 guys I brought to the first tournament. Now we got a full roster that's willing to travel and compete, and everybody has that mindset. So, yeah, we had 5 dogs that were pretty much the baddest ones out there winning those first championships, and we keep adding to our roster. Now I got 12 dogs that are hungry and ready to get that third beat.
I love it. 12 dogs, hungry, ready to eat. Goal Line Football 2025 championship season. Signing off.